Yeah, and check this out, my AKA powders. I love independent comic books like this. You guys can see it. Hopefully you can smell it through the screen. It's black and white. It's a vigilante character. He's angry. He's not afraid to shed blood. This guy is all gas, no quit. He's our type of guy. Now, more importantly, this is from 1987. More importantly, this is black and white. More importantly, it looks like we have a logo made by the human hand. And nice stroke technique here. I mean, not a lot of applications in the 80s, in like the mid 80s, could do something like this. I'm curious on the construction of the logo, because it's clearly done by the human hand, but it has an outline stroke. I don't know. Victory Comics right here. Victory Comics. It's a Victory. We flip it over on the inside. We have the logo. So, black and white. Robert Durham. This is, as far as I can tell from my research. And look, real quick. He does... anyway, we're all over the place. This is the guy from Cave Woman. If you're ever at a comic book convention, the guy selling nicely rendered watercolor pen and ink artwork with a girl with giant boobalas in the time of dinosaurs in the lost world, just like Kazar, but she's got big gazongas. That's Robert Durham. If this book ended up on an editor's desk during this time, I would say you have to call Robert up. We have to bring him in. We have to get him on the phone. We have to give him a couple test assignments. We have to get him up to speed, because there's clear initiative here. There's a lot more initiative here that you would see in many of the comic books at this time. Now, some people might say too, this era of black and white American independent comics was inspired by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I always say yes and no, because if you look at the Turtles and you see what kind of came after, you see where the Turtles were at this time, in no way do you say, let me do a violent, somewhat underground, somewhat outlaw comic book where the guy is just bloodthirsty. Let me do that, right? You're just doing the black and white independent comic because those are your resources. That's what you have access to. But real quick, Robert here does one of my all-time favorite items. The logo of the character, right, is in the captions and word balloons. I think when it comes to engaging with a new character, and sometimes these characters are only new, meaning they get published once or twice. I love the idea of just hammering. This is like comic book, like secret language here. Because what exactly does this mean in like the mind's eye when you read it like this, right? It's so interesting to me, but I also feel like it's very effective. So, death and a little depression. That makes me believe we have a precursor to the Crow here. Because does it get depressing? Not so much. What's depressing is that SHRIKE here is so bloodthirsty and so hungry in the streets that you're depressed in finding it. You don't find a reason. There's no like true origin in this issue. Now, we're led to believe maybe with issue 2, we get some of that. But, I mean, guys, look at the nicely designed page 2 here. I like all of this stuff. I want to say this is like Mike Grell. Really cool stuff. We start off with him running, evading police, because he just killed a guy. And the cops are, right, the cops are onto it. They're potentially looking for him. You see the cops are maybe trying to beam around this alley. He's already like one street ahead on the roof ledge, not rooftop, but he's on the ledge running. in the opposite direction that the 5-0s are coming in from. But then it goes to discover what SHRIKE it's referring to. Let's turn the clock back only a half hour. And you're like, God, Jesus. Only 30 minutes. So now we're like in the flashback, and we just see that he does a great job in just setting up this woman. She lost her job. She has kids. Her rent money is going to go to back rent. They're going to be poor and starving within like a couple of days. And then, boom. These two dudes, they are snorting nose beers, nose nachos. These guys are all about the Colombian bang bang, but they see this girl going and they're like, boom, I'll be right back. Easy target. So she gets stalked, attacked, and ends up in a trash can by page 5. It's so tragic. It's like, what's happening with her kids? I'm reading this and I'm just like, oh my God, like the kids are going to end up in the system, and the city doesn't look like a great city. So the child services are, oh my God. But he does a great job in making us feel something. And I know it's low-hanging fruit for making this woman down and out. I know it's low-hanging fruit just ruthlessly killing this girl. But it's effective and it works. And here's the amazing thing, AKA Padders. We don't have great artwork, right? Like this artwork, there's a lot to be desired. This is what I say. He's a editor's Robert at this stage in his illustration ability. He is what editors look for, because you can work with this guy. He has great and clear storytelling. Some of his shot selection is limited based on his skill set, but his skill set could also be linked to his age, meaning he doesn't have a lot of time with the blank piece of paper. So our boy here, well, he gets wind of it, and we have a nice gotcha. We have his buddy. His buddy sees his other friend that has the money coming out of a dark alley, and he just like falls right over. And then out of the shadow comes our boy SHRIKE here. Let me see. He's kind of like there's some type of power emanating from him. And he's like, look, you're going to suffer. He's like, your other friend didn't, but you're going to suffer. So he takes the guy up and he hangs him on a phone pole here. Basically, I guess like, yeah, like, is this a impalement? Shoot! Throws him. But again, like, nice hero shots here. And then we get into a flashback of a flashback. So, and then we find out that our flying, jacked superhero with a kind of cool face mask and a chest emblem here. We don't know no origin for that. He used to be Family Guy, and he worked for Nation Corp, and they were military developers. You guys want to see something crazy? Well, you guys want to see something crazy? Let's go. Let's go. Page 10. You know what this dude pitches? He pitches like a sphere that's an anti-gravity sphere that can be used for military and commercial. Say it with me. Anti-gravity sphere. And we learn. Boom. He gets rejected. They tell him no. But his wife's great. His wife... I read this. The wife is so supportive in this. I was saying to myself, it took me my entire life to find a woman this supportive about someone's endeavors, as with me and my current engagement, right? This is the model of the type of woman you want. It doesn't mean she has to be a trade wife. Doesn't mean she can't have a career, but she's so into his work. It's just inspiring. And I think it would make anybody work harder. So he works harder. The anti-gravity sphere, he's like back at the drawing table, putting it together, still doing family time, working out there. He's looking good. Look at that forearm. Well, he's a great husband too, because look, he's got time to bang and bone his wife, and we have one incredible, you guys can hear like the 80s montage music, right? So anyway, makes love to the wife, but he he cracks the code and develops a belt. And what does the belt do? Now, this is cool because we kind of go back and forth with him, like, again, like stalking the city, being a maniac, being revengeful, being bloodthirsty. So him and the wife and the kid, they go off to the park, and we find out that they're like the name Shrek, and there were Delaware Indians, and that was like a nickname that one of his relatives gave him. But he successfully tests. I mean, no, nice looking car too, by the way. But they successfully test the anti-gravity belt, and there we go. Boom. He's like zipping all over the place. And then we cut back to modern day. So we don't find out what happened with the family. But I like this transition here. Look at the shadows in the forearm. What would be the leg merging into the mountain and treetops, right? Like really good stuff. Well, here we go. One of his friends finds him sulking on a rooftop. And he's like, yes, are you jealous? Jealous of a ghost? Yes, I'm jealous. And she's like giving him attitude. Her name is Shadowwing. So Shadowwing and Shrike here, they have a nice back and forth. And you're like, oh, is this the wife or something? But it doesn't look like it. And here's the kicker. We find out that there's someone called Clown Killer killing gang members. You know, like gang members as bad as these guys. And he wants to discuss territory rights because he's protecting the entire city and wants to call the entire city his own. And, you know, so it's like hero and hero, like two heroes like working together. And this guy just has a laugh. And she's like, you know what? It's been a while since you laughed. That just feels good. And they're like, well, let's go find Clown Killer. And then we're done. I do want to read more. We talk about that a lot on this channel. That's our measuring stick. I don't know why. I really don't. It's so discombobulated. But if we were to separate this in like sections and moments, like all the sections are highly effective. So like the points of the story that Robert wants to communicate, they come through. And I would buy this to support him, to encourage him, and to maybe get more. And excuse me, everyone. Yeah, and check it out. Bloody Messages, P.O. Box, Norristown, PA. He's a PA guy. I never even know. I guess maybe that's why he's a lot. I've always heard of him at conventions around. I guess maybe that explains it. But guys, Shrek number 1. Not Shrek number 1. Shrike. Shrike number 1. Maybe could use a different, better title. I think there's a DC character. Is there like Shrike Killer out there? I think that's a DC guy. This makes me want to read more though. It really does. And I know issue 2's out there. Hopefully I'll bring that to you guys soon.